episode number 10. I don't know what it is in Russian or anything like I usually do, but whatever, it doesn't matter. We are brought to you by BEAUS All Natural Brewing Company. And guess what? We're at BEAUS All Natural Brewing Company. Physically, right now, we're sitting in the President's
office.
We're sitting in the big guy's chair.
Co-founder Steve Beauchamp.
Oh, who is that on the microphone?
Not me. No, I'm not Steve.
Okay. So on the mic, you have myself, Mitch Anderson, co-expert for Eyes on Isles, also member of Ridinpine. You've got
Harper, and this is not my house.
It's not
I
his
usually
house
say
today.
this is my house, but it's not my house.
Not today.
Not today.
You got the agent over here, still not my house.
Never your house. Never your house.
Whatever.
We have producer B, who also doesn't have a microphone, and we are going to be joined not only for a couple of minutes, but the entire show by Mr. Introduce yourself, my friend.
Denis.
Oh,
Denis Routier. I'm a graphic designer here at BEAUS.
Yes.
That's awesome.
We are in-house at BEAUS. We just did a brewery tour. We are drinking osmium beer, which is coming out. Someone remember. Remind me.
Tomorrow.
Demay?
The holiday mix pack.
Yes. Yeah, the winter mix.
Winter mix
Holiday
pack.
mix, whatever.
Similar.
Winter mix pack.
Yeah.
So, you know,
It's delicious, by the
the
way.
upsides of making your own podcast, boys.
Yeah. There's no cracking of beers today because they did it in the tap room while we were here.
On tap, even better.
They made it for us specifically as we came in. That's
But
not true.
we can cheers like we normally
Cheers.
Oh,
boys.
cheers.
absolutely.
Cheers to
Cheers,
another
fellas.
episode. Let's do
Cheers.
it.
Producer
Cheers to
Brian's
BEAUS.
over there by himself. He's too far away.
Brian?
Yeah, he's good.
And we have Supervisor Taylor behind us, who
Yes.
also does not have a mic.
Making sure we don't say anything ridiculous.
Or steal anything or be obnoxious.
He's actually holding my leash.
Oh, you got like a long leash, so you're all right.
I think.
I think.
Okay.
He's got the wolf eyes on you though, so look out.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. This beer for a second.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the first thing you taste?
Beer?
Sort of like caramel.
You're
for me. It's
asking
like-
someone with a terrible palate.
Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. It
Really?
is a very bit of a caramel kind of flavor. It's we did another beer in this vein, the 80 shilling, and this is one step above that into the wee heavy category of Scottish ales, and yeah, so you got a bit more of a roast on it, and it's a bit deeper and richer, hence wee heavy.
It's a wee heavy. I
a
feel
wee heavy.
it is that heaviness, and I taste a little coffee. Is that weird?
No, it's not weird at all.
I get a little bit of the coffee note, like in the
Oh,
back
absolutely,
there.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like
It's
the-
that roast flavor for
yeah.
sure.
You
The
got it.
alcohol content's a wee heavy too, so be careful, boys.
Wee, it is
Yeah.
heavy, my friend.
At 7.0, it's
That's not bad.
I'm glad Darcy's driving me. This is my second one today.
I'm just a short walk up the hill.
There you go. See, I got to move to Van Cleek Hill.
And 145 pounds doesn't go a long way when you're drinking.
No, 148. 148.
You gained weight.
I did.
You can get on the recumbent bike over there.
I should have. Don't worry. I just I'll do something later and we'll be fine. So we're here at BEAUS. We're having beers because obviously BEAUS is sponsoring Ridinpineshow, and we love them for it. And so they brought us in to have a brewery tour, which we did. We learned everything about the brewing process. I don't remember any of it because I don't remember anything anyways.
Well, hold on. Harper was taking notes in his head because he said he was going to take actual notes, and when I saw that he wasn't, he just pointed to his head. So Harper,
I took pictures.
could you
Pictures.
explain?
What do you remember from your experience, Harper?
You can go on my Instagram story and you can check it out.
Well, that doesn't work. That's cheap.
I learned that everything, the next room you go into just gets bigger and then gets bigger.
Oh my God,
and
yes.
It gets bigger. Right? So we
tanks
went
they
from
have.
8,000 liters to
200
20,000.
with the mini 200 ones.
Yeah, that's where our beer's going to go.
That's right. Yeah.
We'll talk with Taylor about that later.
To 200 to 2,000 to 8,000 to 42,000. I'm looking for nods.
48,000 was
Oh,
the
you missed-
last
you
one,
missed the
and
20 in
the
there.
one in between was
Did I miss the
20 to
20?
30,000. She wasn't quite sure, so
Jeez.
yeah, it went
Pretty
from
much a
8,000
tanker full.
from 20 to 30, and then the last one was 48,000, which is a lot of beer.
Quite the operation. Because
Yeah.
now you guys are nationwide, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's legit.
That's
You
amazing.
need that space.
Oh, yes.
Oh man,
Lots of lug tread.
lots of lug tread.
Which we're
Make
out
sure to
of.
go get some lug
Yeah.
tread. Yeah, we're out of, but we'll get some.
we'll
There's no worry about that. And you could all get some at your local beer store, or LCBO,
Absolutely.
or wherever you purchase alcoholic beverages for a legal rate.
Or drive to Van Cleek Hill.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Because on the weekends they have food.
Yeah, there's food, brewery tours. Not as nice as the brewery tour that you got, but they're pretty good.
Yeah, well, not everyone can get what we get.
Exactly.
Not gonna lie.
VIP.
Kind of a big deal. Did you
VIP.
not hear my introduction? Co-expert for Eyes on Isles. Kind of a big deal.
VIP. Wrote that down.
Not really. So, Denis, we have you on not only because you're a BEAUS employee, but because you're a hockey fan as well.
Yeah.
You're kind of the best of both worlds. But let's before we get to the hockey, which is what we do, let's talk about BEAUS and your role here at BEAUS to kind of get an appreciation of what you specifically do and what happens here at BEAUS. So you are a graphic designer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, BEAUS is one of the few breweries that has its own in-house graphic design team. Most breweries will hire out to a design company or an agency to do most of that kind of work.
Oh.
There's a few that do it more and more, but this is one of the original ones that from the beginning they've done everything in-house.
And is there a reason for that, like having a homogenous style type thing?
I think that's a lot of it, but I think it's also because we like to work amongst friends.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see the idea of let's outsource this to somebody else working very well with our ethos and the way we work.
Right.
The labels are key. The first thing I look at is the bottle. Okay, now let's. Look
I
at
already
this
know it's a
label.
BEAUS. Yeah.
Yeah, it's they're bang on. If you're the guy that's spearheading that's amazing.
Well, we're actually 4 designers in our group. There's Jordan, who's the creative director of the company. He started everything off with the original tractor, all the original look of the brewery. And then we have Mike Haddad, who's the art director, and Eddie Earwig and I are graphic designers.
Sorry, earwig?
Yes, Eddie Earwig.
Like an actual earwig, or is that his name?
No, he's an actual earwig.
Nice.
Wow.
No, that's actually his name.
Okay.
He was in a punk band.
That explains everything.
I get where he's coming
There
from.
you go.
So you guys do not only the labels, but you do all the promotional stuff for the company. So
exactly.
if I want to get a printout of that Fox Chaos
Yes,
label,
yes.
do I speak to you?
I'm the one who designed that label.
Ah, yes.
That's awesome.
Nice.
You're my fave. High five. I love that label so much.
That is what we were hoping for.
Oh,
I smell a tattoo in the future.
That was actually my second label that I ever designed, but the first one that came out.
I love it. I love it so much. Anytime I see that in the store, which I don't see anymore because you guys don't make it, I buy it immediately. So I've now circled that on the running order. I made sure to write it because
And
I
I
love it so
think
much.
now seeing all these other craft breweries popping up all over Ontario, and BEAUS has been around since 2006. One of the first ones that have actually, stayed and been a mainstay for the last 11 years. Yeah. I think a lot of people are following suit with the graphic design and the beers too.
Oh yeah, you have to distinguish yourself on a shelf.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that the first thing that people look at, obviously, since you can't taste the beer when you're looking at 100 different bottles on the shelf, is the design, obviously. So you have to speak to someone and attract their eyes pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the second thing is, okay, what's the style of the beer inside? And then they go from there, right? So you really have to catch somebody's eye, and I think it's right. There are more and more companies that are putting a lot more money and a lot more time and effort into the design of their labels and their packaging altogether.
Yeah, I'm guilty as charged. That's me. Me and my son. I took my son to the LCBO the other day to pick up So what we're doing is a what's that calendar for Christmas that you call
Advent
it?
calendar.
Advent calendar of beer. So every day, my wife and I will split a beer. My son is picking all the beers when we get there. So he's 2.
Split a beer.
Yeah, well, we're kind of cheap. So my wife and I are kind of cheap. Shoestring budget for Christmas, but it's going to get done. So he's going and picking labels based off how they look. Oh, papa, orange. Oh, papa, bleu. Mm-hmm. So that's all he's doing. It doesn't matter what's going on. Or, oh, papa, elephant. And you're like, okay, perfect. Get
Bring
that
it to
elephant,
the
buddy.
whiskey, like the whiskey section. Papa, brun, oui.
Oui, mon homme.
Yeah, 2 of my son's first words were beer and tractor.
Nice.
And,
Beautiful.
And I'll never forget the day that we drove up to the brewery to get some beer and other things, and he said, "That's my beer."
Oh.
He pointed at the brewery and
He's
said,
owning
"That's
it.
my beer." I was like, okay.
That's a good boy.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, some good learning going on.
Growing up right.
That's right. So what drew you to BEAUS? Did they come for you, or did you come to them?
No, I applied for the graphic designer position 3 years ago almost. Yeah, it was basically my dream job.
Yeah?
I used to collect the bottles because I liked the art.
Wow.
So at one
That's
point,
fantastic.
I have to thank my brother-in-law because he's the one who said you should apply for this, and I was like, I don't have enough experience. I'll never get it. And then I did, and here I am.
That's awesome.
Man, that
And
speaks
did you always
volumes.
live in Van Cleef Hill?
No, I lived in Montreal for the last 10, 12 years before that.
Wow.
That might be a nice segue into the next
15
question here,
years.
Mitch.
That's right. So the next question was, let our allegiances out. So as far as we know Harper, we know who you cheer for. Don't worry about it.
I try and wear as much stuff as I can.
We knew who we all cheer for, but we wanted to know who you cheer for, and I guess it's pretty clear by Harper repping the shirts. But
I
your
love the Hartford Whalers.
Nice.
Wait,
good
no,
team. Gordie Howe.
no.
Pat Falloon.
Pat Falloon. Love that name when I was a kid. No, the Montreal Canadiens. Unfortunately,
Yes.
this season, but yes.
Well, for now, Carey Price is coming back, but
Hey, don't look now, but they're 2 points away from being, or 3 points away from being in a,
a playoffs position.
Just 2, actually.
from
They're
being
23 points.
and they're playing Detroit back to back. So by this weekend or next weekend,
Detroit's at 25. They've actually got a point more than Ottawa right now, but Ottawa's got 3 games in hand. So
There you go. See, there it is. So we got another Montreal guy on the squad here
Yeah,
for
we do.
now, for today, unfortunately, for Darcy and I. Although Darcy cheers for Ottawa, so everything's unfortunate to him.
that's a good point.
So the NHL is celebrating their 100th year anniversary. So kind of, not really, right? Because they had the whole lockout for a season and lockout for half a season. So it's not necessarily 100 years, but they're calling it that. What is your favorite? Obviously, you're not 100 years old. None of us are. I give
Close
you,
to
what,
it.
32, 33?
I wish. Have you seen all this gray?
Listen,
That's
buddy,
the
I'm
that's
coming
that's-
out with the gray, and I'm 33, so
42.
you don't
That's
look
not
a
bad.
day over 32.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
a little just for
like
men
this
in there.
guy.
Perfect.
I know.
So what is your favorite NHL
Fluffing
memory?
up the guest, eh, Mitch?
That's how you do it. That's how you do it, my friend.
Whoa.
Welcome to radio-ish podcasting. Is that the same thing?
Same thing.
Yep. Same
Sure.
thing.
Yeah.
Mem shows.
There you go. What is your favorite NHL memory?
Well, I have to say probably the last Stanley Cup won by the Habs. The reason
So
being,
1975?
feels like it. Yeah,
1993.
that's actually
93? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't know that. I totally knew that.
Of course. he
way too long.
I was 5 years old.
I was a little bit older. I was in high school, and that season actually, you go through that phase whenever you're a young man where you want to reject everything that your father likes. Mm-hmm. So for about 3 or 4 years, I was like, I don't want to watch hockey. I don't like hockey. Hockey's boring. I don't like hockey. And then all of a sudden, I started getting into hockey again, and it was actually that season. And just before the playoffs started, I was like, I'm liking this more and more again. I remember this. Oh, this is nice. Then all of a sudden, they won the Stanley Cup, and I was like, okay.
For life.
Back on.
Now it's in your blood.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now I'm in. Now I'm going to
I'd
go
seen a
flip
lot
some
of-
cars.
I'd seen a lot of Stanley Cups in my time because I'm 42, but
Sure.
and was I don't know how many I saw in the 70s since I was for 5 years old. So
Yeah, you don't really
remember a few
those.
of them.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple.
Okay. What's the first one you remember?
Probably 78, 79.
Who won the cup that year, Darcy?
Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah,
God damn it. So good.
the late 70s is pretty easy.
Yeah. Just throw that name out.
Four straight, yeah, to end the 70s.
I seem to recall my father being very happy in our living room a couple times during
Yeah.
the 70s, and my brother as well.
Oh, man. Good times.
Another good memory I have
Yeah?
is a hand me down that I got from my brother. It's actually not even a memory. It's just an article that I used to wear, and you'll never see anything like it again. It was a turtleneck with a full print of Guy Lafleur on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like just the arms didn't have anything on
The
it. It was
flower.
like the entire front of it was just a giant photograph of Guy Lafleur.
Is it
I
like
was
his
lucky
hair
enough to-
flowing back, like
Yeah, oh yeah.
rushing down
He was
the
in
ice?
action.
Did it
was
come
awesome.
with a pack of smokes? Too?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. I have a picture of myself in it, and I was like, I still cherish that, and I wish I still had that one. I'd wear it now. even
Don't
if
you
I
regret letting that stuff
get that?
go?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh man.
While we're on that question, Mitch, what's your favorite memory?
I wish I could say the Islanders Cups, but I wasn't born by the time
You were
they won the
not.
Cups. I was born the year after they stopped winning Cups.
Coincidence? I don't know.
Oh, you're blaming me for the Islanders' fortunes?
Yes.
Fair. That's fair. I tried to think of it because I wrote this stupid question, and I couldn't necessarily think of one. To me, it's honestly anytime Bob Cole calls a game. I know I said it before in the podcast, but it's Bob Cole for me does playoff hockey. I don't care what you say about it, like he's not a good announcer, probably not. He doesn't remember the names of the players, probably not. It's just that tone of voice to me whenever I hear that.
Yeah.
It's playoff hockey.
That's fair.
And that's meaningful hockey, and so that means a lot to me.
A lot of
Do you know
people
what-
don't like him because they don't remember the names, though. Right? So,
exactly.
The Ottawa player passes to the Ottawa player.
Number
Oh, baby.
62.
What does in there mean, though?
In there?
The Leafs are in there.
Oh, anything. It means anything and everything. That's the thing. He's the king of vague statements that mean everything.
true.
He's so great with it. Like, oh, they're in there battling for the... I can't do his accent, guys. That's my only accent, by the way.
It is.
That's what he does. Just, oh, they're in there and they're fighting for the puck. And oh, baby, done. and you interpret it in your mind, and that's what makes Bob Cole so good, is that you make that interpretation.
So basically, he's good because you do his job for him.
That's right, and he needs to be paid all the monies.
Okay.
Harper, your favorite moment?
All the monies.
I was 5 years old, and I still remember going to Montreal on St. Catherine Street, and I was
Flipping cars.
flipping cars. Yeah, pretty much.
I
yeah.
picture like a 100-pound Harper just jacked. I'm like, oh, I'm so happy.
At 5 years old, yeah, I was probably about a 150 to 6 foot. Yeah.
Big man.
No, that
Big
was
man.
that was probably my first memory of even starting to watch hockey. I mean, I was upstairs in my bedroom and I heard my dad just clapping, coming downstairs, and I was like, "What's going on?" And he's like crying. I was like, "What's wrong with you?" He's like, "Montreal Canadiens just won the Stanley Cup." I was like, "What's that?" He's like, "Well, tomorrow or next week we're gonna go to St. Catherine Street. Go to St. Catherine Street."
Party.
I was just hanging out in my dad's old convertible that he had.
Nice.
It was terrible. It was like a Ford Pinto. It was convertible. It was bad. But
You're on St. Cat's partying it up.
oh man, it was. If I wasn't 5 years old, it would have been a train wreck. But it was unreal, unbelievable. Yeah.
You know the only time my parents ever woke me up from my sleep to watch something on the TV? When Princess Diana died.
That's depressing.
I know. The only time my mom ever woke me up from sleep was to be like, hey, Princess Diana died. I had no idea who the heck she was.
So what, 1998?
I was drunk in a bar.
There you go. See, I wish.
Yeah, and it
I
was,
always
it was late August. I remember that. I remember that too. Actually, my parents woke me up too. Well, my dad didn't. He was sleeping. But my mom did.
So what's yours, Darcy? The Ottawa Senators lose the Anaheim Ducks in the finals?
No, that was heartbreaking.
Okay.
My favorite moment, I think, and I don't know why I've got no allegiance to the team, is still that double overtime Game 7 Steve Yzerman goal that he took from the blue line there. And
That clapper that went right through the Blues.
and everybody thinks Grant Fuhr was the goalie, but he was actually hurt. It was John Casey. It was over John Casey's shoulder, and John Casey is also the goalie who was in for that Mario Lemieux 1992 Cup final goal when he was playing for Minnesota. Casey was the one where he danced through into that ridiculous goal.
And then you
Okay.
can get them
So
in the
John
crotch.
Casey is an infamous for the two of the greatest goals in the NHL. Before.
So reminder for next Stanley Stumpers.
I just remember that so well when Gretzky got the puck stolen from him. Yzerman took it from him, then went over and just that clapper over that. What a shot!
And the look of Gretzky on the ice afterwards, just,
and then just jump in, and that Blues team was incredible.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kind of like this year's Blues team.
Hull,
Standings.
they had Adam Oates, they
That's
had Pronger,
Take that salary cap.
McInnes. They had a hell of a team.
Well, that's what happens when you other team amasses just as much as talent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so we're talking about hockey, so let's get into some hockey topics necessary, like specifically. So we talked about the beers. We'll get back to the beers when we're doing our mid-roll section here. I want to talk a little bit about suspensions because two big ones happened. My buddy Josh for Tough Call has been blogging about it nonstop because that's what he does. But the two big ones I want to get to are the Gudis one, and we forgot to give Harper some props last week when the suspension happened.
When did we...
Like weeks
Episode
ago.
1.
Episode 1.
Yeah.
Episode 1,
I think
season
the first
2.
one you were there.
No, because we did it with Kevo.
Yeah, I wasn't even there yet.
Really?
That's right. It was episode 1, season 2. And one of the questions we had was, what is going to be the biggest suspension of the season? And we all said, like, what I wanted from them, from both Harper, myself, and Kevo, was the number of games and the player. No. And I said
a prediction.
8. Exactly. And I said 8 Ryan Reeves because I think he's going to do something stupid for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
And he hasn't yet.
He hasn't yet. But then Harper, as he usually does, throws something out and you're like, what are you talking about?
Just obscure.
Just doesn't, like, it makes kind of sense when you think about it, but you're like, why would he? He says, Radko Gudas, 10 games. Now, to be fair, he does say for hitting his own guy, but the guy gets it right on the head. 10 games, Radko Gudas, Harper, high five, buddy. Holy, what a prediction that was.
Should have put some money on that one. I should have called Vegas.
Although, to be fair, like, he didn't hit his own player. He just tried to lob Mathieu Perreault's head off.
Yeah, that was
What?
bad.
Like, I have the plays here. We can look at everyone's seen them. I don't need to bring them up.
Oh,
Seen
no.
that one.
That's the
I'll bring up the
definition.
Landeskog.
That is the definition of accidentally on purpose.
Yeah.
He pretended he didn't know exactly where he was, and if you're watching the replay, you can make an argument, but it's Gudis, so you know for a fact he knew where
He's
his
looking
stick
at the
was.
boards and he's just
Yeah, it
lumberjacking it down.
It sort of looked like he was losing his balance, so to keep his balance, he came down with the stick, but he hit him right in the back of the head.
Like, right on the neck, like, lobbing the head off.
Oh, yeah.
Like, are we all okay with 10 games on this?
I think it had to be for him. If it was somebody
there's the
else,
caveat.
and well, this is something I think we're going to talk about. Does history play a factor? And yes, of course it does. He's been suspended twice before, but this isn't a very good ass suspension. His suspensions are usual high hits to the head. He's trying to elbow your head off of your shoulders. That's the type of suspension.
Lob it off with his stick.
Yeah, so this is a new one for him, but I mean, I think
He's versatile, at least.
he's evolving.
Exactly.
He's evolving as a goon.
He's learned to use weapons.
Oh, what do you feel then, Denis, about that? Like, obviously, you're not okay with it. You think 10 games is all right because of the history, or
10 games seems to be the standard for this kind of thing lately. It's,
Yeah.
You know, they don't really go too far above that. I think if he had glanced at him and then whacked, if it was slightly more obvious.
Yeah.
I think since there is that gray zone of like, look, he's not like looking at him and then whacking him.
Yeah.
There's that gray area, so that I think they couldn't really get away with giving him any more.
Can we
but
quickly
maybe
talk
they should
about how
have.
cool it is that George Peros is the head of player safety?
Yeah.
Like, that's what he did for his whole career,
And
right?
he still has the stash.
He's still, oh, what a stash.
But he was never particularly dirty. I
No.
don't remember
No.
him like slashing people.
I don't think he ever got
whacking people.
suspended.
But on all of his teams, he was the head of player safety.
that is true.
That is what he did.
he
So
knew the law, and he knew how to, walk the line of said law.
Exactly.
he has a whopping 36 points in 474 career games.
And whopping.
What's his penalty minutes?
1,096.
Didn't he get most of those in one season? Those points too. He had one productive semi.
Yeah,
season.
he had a
with
decent
Anaheim.
season with Anaheim. 2009, I think he scored like 9 points, but he had a decently long career. I mean, 474 games, it's no slouch, right?
For a guy playing fourth line minutes.
And just dropping
Beating-
the gloves.
yeah,
Just
that's
going out
that's
there
that's a
being
tough
rolled.
career.
Yeah.
That is not
Greatest stash since Wendell Clark. Can we all agree on that?
Yeah.
I think so. Yes.
Like maybe even better.
Probably better.
better,
Yeah, easily.
You think so? Wendell's was pretty epic.
Wendell's was epic
good
because it's
Wendell.
Wendell Clark.
Yeah.
But in terms of just of the stash in and of itself,
Yeah.
George Peros.
It's Movember every day for him.
All you
I'm
have
gonna
to
say
say
George
is the
Peros.
stash in the NHL, and you have to like you
Everyone
bring up
knows.
George Peros.
Everyone knows you're talking about George Peros.
That was wild.
So then we have the Gudis strike, which is again right to the back of the head, not necessarily clearly intentional, but obviously intentional. And then we have Landeskog. He cross check
He basically
Matthew
was.
Tkachuk in the face.
Kachuk was sort of like leaning on the net, and he came through with a two-hander right under his chin, side of the face. I mean, it was vicious. I mean, if that was Gudas, that's a 20 gamer.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like, and because Landeskog doesn't have a history of doing this, he only got, what did he get, 4?
He got 4. So here it is. We're watching it now. Boom!
Yeah.
Right across the face. So he gets him across the shoulder blades, and then right here, boom! Right across the face.
Yeah.
The thing with this one is that there's no gray area here.
No.
Like, there's absolutely no way that you can say he didn't mean to do it. With
Well-
the Gudis hit, with the Gudis slash, there's
you
a gray
think?
area, but because he's a repeat offender, they still kind of, with that history that you were talking about, they still,
Yeah,
okay, gray area, he may or may not have done it, but it looked bad enough that we're going to give him 10 games.
And when it comes to repeat offenders, you have to look no further than Rafi Torres.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
Right? Rafi Torres was getting suspended. I think he got 5 lengthy suspensions, but his last one was in the preseason. He hit Jakob Silverberg. Silverberg was sort of coming over the blue line.
remember that.
And he came in over the top and behind and kind of got him elbowed into the, like, Silverberg was turning right and he kind of elbowed him into the cheek. And it was a dirty hit, but he got 41 games for that. If it was Bobby Ryan, he would have got 3.
Yeah.
There's no
But
point
it's-
for that kind of play.
so
When you-
repeat- yeah.
When you know that you're gonna get suspended. It's not like like you said, it's not his first time. So
Yeah.
he saw that coming from a mile away.
That was actually the end of his NHL career, too. That's the last play he ever made.
Good riddance.
Yeah,
I agree.
Completely agree. High five on that. Thankfully, Rafi Torres is gone. Although, what is it? First round pick by the New York Islanders. So you're welcome, NHL.
That's 3 high fives. 3 high fives so far.
That's the theme of the day. Is high fives. I'm very happy to be here. This is amazing. Like
This
the
is amazing.
experience that we got and the tour that we got.
I just want to point out that I've got none.
well,
I got none.
You got
You
no
want
props.
a sympathy high five?
That's- well-
you drove me, so you get an
That
extra high
doesn't count.
five.
All right.
That doesn't count. He can
right.
get the high five. That's 5.
Well,
So
he gave me a ride here. That's
if
important.
he wins the Stanley Stumpers, he can get a high five.
I'm sure he'll win it.
Probably
He's gonna earn.
Probably from Taylor.
He hasn't lost it yet. Obviously we're okay with both suspensions, and like you mentioned, Darcy, is that the idea that history plays a fact. And it's not that it decides if you get a suspension or not. It just decides how long said suspension is.
Yeah.
And we're okay with that kind of multiplier, right?
Yeah, I think so. You're trying to negate these type of plays, right? You're trying to take them out of the game, and you've got a repeat offender. You got to slap a harder. I mean, good as for him. That 10 games isn't cheap. That's $400,000 he's forfeiting. It's a lot of money.
Right to the player's pension.
Yeah.
Do you think that who Landeskog hit had anything to do with just 4 games? Because
Chuck's a bit of an agitator.
Yeah, I think a lot of other players might have been clapping that nice.
I don't disagree, but you still can't do it.
No,
right?
of course not.
Because I would two-hand like Bergeron and what's his name? 63 Marchand. Oh God, I'd lob his head off if I could. I'd Marty McSorley him if I could.
People in Marchand's own hometown would do that too.
I'm
I
sure.
agree.
I'm sure.
He's not liked.
I think that plays a fact into it. Like, yes, it's a Chuck, and yes, you can kind of say, like, Landeskog could say, he chirped me. Okay, sure, yeah, I get it, Landeskog, but you still shouldn't have done it.
No, of course not. But I'm just for the length of the suspension.
I think so.
I think, yeah, he kind of deserved it.
You can kind of
Not really,
look into
but-
the circumstance of it, like, yeah, okay, you probably weren't. And I think that plays into how many suspensions he's got to date, which are none. So I think that reduces it and saying, like, you've never done it before.
Yeah.
You're clearly doing it to someone who's rubbing you the wrong way. You still deserve it, but it's not. We're not going to throw you under the sink.
Yeah.
We're going to do that to the Raffi Torreses of the groups. And who's the next Raffi Torres? Is there anything like...
Most of them are gone. What's
Exactly.
A lot of these dirty
What's
guys
that
are
hot
gone out of the league.
Cicero? Carcillo is gone. Is he
Carcillo's gone.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I mean, you
Darcy Tucker has been gone for a while.
Kachuk
Thankfully.
is the one that I would probably think that he's
You're right.
the next like kind of agitator, like
But he's like the mold of
SHIT disturber.
the
I'm trying not to
Marchand mold, right?
Yeah, that's
where
right.
he's not only going to like stir the pot, but he's going to put up some points.
True.
Maybe not Marchand styles. Maybe not as many as Marchand. No one thought Marchand would put up 80 points. God, like,
Talking about fantasy darlings, Kachuk is a fantasy darling.
okay, I'm going to write that down.
I'm telling you,
I'm
he gets
thinking PK.
maybe almost a point per game, and he gets 1 to 2 penalties per game. So for fantasy,
For
if
Yahoo,
if
that's great.
If you're counting penalty minutes,
So let's talk about the quarter season, though. So we're talking about fantasy, and we're talking about where you get value. I want to talk about like pretenders and who's for real this season. So we're 20 plus ish games through. You can we're past the Thanksgiving threshold where 78% of the teams who are in a playoff position will make the playoffs come the end of the season. Who's a pretender and who's for real? And I wrote down a few, and we don't have to stick to these. My printer made it all wavy. I'm sorry, guys. My wife and I are having real problems with our wireless printer.
I can't read this.
And I know, right? It's a little wavy. Kevo would hate me for
unacceptable.
this. It's not centered. It's not bolded. Kevo would lose his mind. So my first one is the New Jersey Devils. For real or pretenders? So they're top, if not tied for top with my New York Islanders at the top of the Metropolitan Division, which is the toughest division in hockey. I don't care what you guys say. Don't say it. Doesn't matter. With, I think it's 32 points on the season.
Yep.
There you go. See, good old memory still working. Are the New Jersey Devils for real? Because we didn't think they would be there. And I'm going to turn to our guest first because our guest is all important.
He's distinguished.
He's
distinguished.
very distinguished. He's more important than any of us individually.
Once again, it's one of those teams where they've been bad for so long, and
Yeah.
get enough decent draft picks and so on and so forth that no matter what, at some point you're going to get good again.
True. Did you think they'd be this good? Like top of the Metropolitan Division?
Did not think they'd be this good because other than a few guys, you can't really name anyone that's a massive star. right?
Defense is terrible.
Exactly.
Ben
That's
Lovejoy.
just kind of shocking. Ben Lovejoy. So it's a little bit of a shocker, but I think they could possibly be. I think they'll be in the playoffs. That's for sure. I don't
right?
see a collapse imminent.
It hasn't happened yet. The floor hasn't fallen out of the New
No.
Jersey Devils, and I'm bewildered. I don't
They're
understand.
playing with confidence, and they seem to be well coached. So
that
everything seems to be going well.
god
see
dang
any-
Will Butcher in his 16? No, he's got like 20.
20 points. Yeah.
Is it 20 on the season?
yeah.
I think
Exactly. Like I keep asking, every time I see highlights from one of their games, I'm like, who are these guys?
Yeah.
Like who? Will what?
Will Butcher was undrafted. They picked. Oh no, sorry, he wasn't-
NCAA.
They picked him up NCAA. I'm not sure if he was drafted or not, but he was definitely a college free agent that they picked up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what team he was originally drafted by, so I'm not going to say which one because I don't remember. But yeah, that was a key pickup. I know Colorado was coveting him. I know a few other teams, but he decided to go to to good old New Jersey, and everyone's like, "Why?" Sorry, everyone. I will speak for myself. I was like, "Why would you go there to a team that's terrible?" And then here they are.
To live in New Jersey.
Who wants to live in New Jersey?
Joyzy.
I've driven through New Jersey a number of times, and I hate it.
Carlos Bakery's in New Jersey.
What? I don't.
Carlos Bakery, the cake boss.
I,
The best cannolis on this side of the Atlantic, I'm telling you.
I'm going to trust you because your taste in food is impeccable, but I have no idea. I don't think I ever even had a cannoli.
That's a sin. So look at the teams that are behind these guys, though. I don't think New Jersey's making the playoffs.
I agree.
They're not making the playoffs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you
They're-
see collapse imminent?
Yes.
I don't see a huge collapse. I see them fighting and biting to try and get into the playoffs. The Metropolitan Division is going to get those first 2 wild card spots for sure.
Oh, so 5 teams from the Metro.
Yeah.
Oh, for absolutely.
It's 5 and 3.
And then Montreal and Ottawa and Florida are going to try and battle it and to try and get into the
Florida?
the third spot for sure. Yeah.
You think Florida?
Detroit will be there. Detroit, Florida, Ottawa, Boston, Montreal, those type.
Yeah, they're all going to be battling for the third spot.
The
in the
middling
Metro.
teams.
So who do you think makes the playoffs in the Metro?
Washington, Pittsburgh, New Jersey. Or Washington, Pittsburgh, and New York.
So you're
one
saying
is
that
to New York?
the Islanders, well, what he's saying is the Islanders, Columbus, New Jersey.
Will not make the playoffs.
Whoa, all 3 of those?
All 3.
What?
This is my bold prediction.
Wow. See,
Stamp
this
it.
is a Harper prediction.
Whoa,
This is our
whoa,
prediction.
I'm uncomfortable with, but will probably end up true because of Harper luck.
So I'm looking at this right now. So Pittsburgh will make it in as like the 2nd seed. Washington will retake the 1st seed. And New
Wow.
York Rangers will be in as the 3rd seed. So that's going to do a complete flip. And this is the
Yeah, but
quarter.
then you said there's 2 other wild card spots. So you're saying Columbus isn't making the playoffs? Columbus is making
No,
the playoffs.
Columbus will make the playoffs.
And the
then-
Islanders.
And the Islanders will make
yeah,
the playoffs.
those are my,
bad,
5
my
too.
bad.
Those are my 5 too.
But then Montreal is going to make it if we're going to talk about them. Detroit's going to be out. And
So then it's Tampa, Toronto, Montreal.
yeah,
Okay.
Ottawa's not making it. That's it. That's my bold prediction. Hashtag bold prediction.
I know, and I feel I was like, no, this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, but it's not because you always do these, and I was like, I don't agree. I really don't agree. This is not this doesn't make any sense, and then it comes true. It always comes true.
This is why I always go with my gut when I'm doing like pro line or something.
Yeah.
I always go, nah, you know what? They may or may not win, but they're, minus 200. No, I'm going to bet it.
So are you betting in this order? Washington, Pittsburgh, Rangers, Islanders, Columbus.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
It's very specific.
Wow.
You're just like flip flopped. I like those 5 because you've literally taken the 5 from the Metro that I said we're going to make the playoffs too.
I can't disagree
But
with those 5 making it.
Yeah,
No.
I can't see Columbus.
They're all
I could
very,
see,
very
I
good
could see
teams.
the Islanders finishing 4th. I like that one. I could see Pittsburgh finishing 2nd. And I could see the Rangers or Washington finishing 3rd, but I don't think Columbus is going anywhere from 1st.
I've watched a few of the Columbus games.
Bobrovsky.
Bobrovsky is not
Officer
been playing very
Bobrovsky. What?
He's not been playing very well.
Oh.
I don't
boy.
like the way that he's moving his lateral.
this-
It's like I watch Carey Price whenever he was in.
Yeah.
I watch him like a hawk.
That's all you're watching.
And whenever that Minnesota game when he was going lateral left to right and he was sliding all over the place, I was like, this guy's injured. Boom. Next day, he was out. For the
That's what I'm
next
talking
10
about.
games.
This is a Harper take.
And then, so I'm looking at Bobrovsky, and he's not the same Officer Bobrovsky that everybody knows.
Okay.
Right? So, I don't know.
All right. You see something in Columbus. All right. That's
Bold
fair.
prediction.
Fair enough.
There we go.
Now, one thing I do want to talk about before we move on from that is I still can't count Pittsburgh out, but now with Matt Murray being out week to week, who do they have now? They've got Tristan Jaro and Casey DeSmith.
Casey Smith is the guy.
They
that
were
got
already
rid.
having some defensive problems.
Between that, they've given up 90 goals.
Exactly.
They're the
Minus
worst,
16
the
goals
worst
difference.
5-on-5 team in the league, which is not Pittsburgh. They're the best power play team, but you don't win if you're not winning 5-on-5.
No.
You know? That's just the way it is.
60% of the game is 5-on-5.
And then you've got these 2 goalies now. Who knows how many weeks? And between them, they've got 6 games NHL experience. But thing that we do have to keep in mind is Matt Murray's been a Band-Aid for the Pittsburgh Penguins for the last 3 seasons. Only this year is he a starting goalie.
Yeah. So okay. So they mentioned this on TSN Insider, which we'll get to in a second because there's something interesting involving us on the TSN Insider report.
we started something good.
We started the Pod Boys. Well, we didn't, but we brought someone on who did it for us. And they mentioned that the Pittsburgh Penguins are going to be diving into the backup goaltender market because they obviously need someone right now.
Yeah.
But who? Montreal has 2 goalies, right? Because they sent out Lindgren to the AHL.
Yep.
So then they won't go after Niemi. They already tried him, and that didn't work very well.
Yeah.
Do you go after Andrew Hammond?
I think so. I think you approach Vegas and you say, hey, can we get Hammond? He's in Vegas, right?
No, he's still in Ottawa.
He's on loan from Vegas.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's in
He's on
Binghamton
loan.
because he was
Right,
traded
right.
to
Bingo,
Vegas.
yeah.
Not Binghamton, Belleville.
Oh, right. It's
He's playing
Belleville
for the
now.
Belleville Baby
Jeez.
Sens right now.
Yeah.
So he's on loan from Vegas in Belleville.
Right.
So he's still
That's right, they
he's
picked
part
him.
of the Vegas organization. So
Yes.
you have to, if you want to trade him, you got to.
You got to go to Vegas. I think they do. Vegas will take it, right? If you give us a 5th round pick for it, done. We'll take
I think
it
so.
as Vegas. So, and that brings us to Vegas, who are leading the Pacific Division. WTF, boys? What the heck is happening?
They've got nothing to lose.
Is that? Do you think that's it?
I think it's part of it.
yeah.
I think.
Or did they have something to prove because they're all the rejects from every team?
I think it's a little bit of both. They have nothing to lose and everything to prove, and why not? I mean, they're playing. From day one, they seem to be actually having fun
I think the
while
thing,
playing hockey.
I think the
which is
thing that
shocking
they
for
do
NHLers.
have to lose is a shocking amount of games until the end of the season.
Yeah.
That's what I think they're going to lose because I'm still calling Vegas, even though they're 92% chance to make the playoffs right now. Mm-hmm. I'm calling them to miss the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
They're going to miss them.
I can see that happening.
I'm calling
for sure.
2 wins in December. Write it down, Mitch. Vegas is going to win 2 games in December.
2 wins for Vegas.
And I've been wrong before. I
Says-
called them at the end of October to start
Mercy.
dropping. They haven't. So I'm still waiting for it. I'm just waiting for that other foot to drop, but who knows if it will or not. They're looking really, really good. Although they got shut out against Dallas a couple nights ago. They didn't look too. They looked more
That happens.
expansion-y.
Yeah.
That happens though for any team.
I know.
The Islanders got shut out by Dallas 5-0,
Yeah, I know.
and the Islanders are the best team in the world ever. So, whatever. Just whatever. Montreal.
That's a hot
20%
take.
Yeah. To more serious note, I'm not sure what the heck is going on with Vegas. Yes, they have something to prove. Yes, they have nothing to lose, but they also have everything to gain when it comes to the draft. They don't have a lot in this year's draft, right? You look at the draft picks this year; they have 1 first round. They have maybe 2 second rounds.
Not yet. I think come trade deadline, they're going to have some loaners to give out.
Yeah, I think they're going to be sellers.
You got
Even
Jam.
if-
Well, I mean, I'm sure McPhee's hoping they're going to become a seller, and I think
it's better for him and
I think
the team
he's
in the long
hoping
run.
my prediction comes true because come February,
Yeah.
it'd be nice to loan out your UFAs instead of having to show your fan base that you're going for it because there's no way they can do it.
No,
Yeah.
they're not going anywhere. So what's the point?
Yeah,
They're first
better
in the
to, like-
Pacific right now, so
Yeah.
yeah, this is the biggest surprise for sure.
Yeah. Is this Edmonton's fault, though? And we'll get to Edmonton in a second. Is this Edmonton's fault because they're so terrible? They should be running the gambit on this division. They should be at the top of this division, but they're not even in a playoff position. They are bottom. If it weren't for Arizona, they'd be the worst team in the Pacific, if not the West.
So with Edmonton, I think there's something that came out today. Are they going to be buyers? Are they going to be sellers? They're going to be buyers hard.
But they're going to be buyers today, not even by the trade deadline. They're buyers today.
Oh, but they're looking for a defender. They're looking for some offensive boost because McDavid can't do everything by himself. So James Neal, David Perron, all those guys from Vegas, like that was like you just got to go after their top guys, and you would get them for a 2nd round pick, a 3rd round pick. David Perron is not worth more than a 2nd round pick.
James Neal?
James Neal is not a first, but he's a 2nd and a prospect maybe.
Yeah, early second, sure.
So
Yeah.
they're going to be buyers for sure, and they got to get themselves back in it. But at this point, after Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving, if you're not within reach of a playoff spot or close to there, no reason why you should just unload your assets.
Yeah, that got
But-
ugly real fast.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Hard. Like, what the heck?
Real fast.
Is this Chiarelli's fault?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to...
I don't think it is either. I think it's hard to address your problems, like your major problems, whenever you have that much tied up in a handful of players.
Yeah.
I think he did what he could. I think they thought they had a great goaltender. They thought they had a great first yeah.
First pair.
Someone look for a
First pairing,
body.
exactly.
Someone look for a
That
body.
bomb has
Cam
been-
Talbot was just run over by a bus.
That bomb is bombed. No, they thought they had one.
and
he
they
played
tied
great last year.
A lot of money.
One
up
season
in
doesn't mean anything.
Lucic.
Yeah.
They
He's
did.
underperforming.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think they did think they had a good goalie. I think Talbot.
Everyone thought they had a good, a good.
He was
team.
great last
Everyone was
year.
predicting
good for the last
a
2
good
years.
Deep run.
So, I don't know. I blame Chiarelli. He liquidated a lot of assets to bring not a lot in. Right? He brought in Shira. He brought in Lucic. He brought in Strome. He brought in Talbot. And it didn't solve anything.
No, they need to get better on the back end, no matter what.
Easily.
They've always
bringing a
people have been
single
saying
defender
that for
yet.
years and years and years.
That's right. He was hoping Clefbaum and Nurse was going to do it, but that didn't work at all whatsoever.
yeah.
Can you blame a guy though for like picking 4 times #1 in the last how many 5 years?
He didn't.
Yeah,
He didn't
true.
do any of those picks. He did McDavid. That's it. He came in right before
But you
that.
wouldn't
It was
do
low, right?
if you have the first overall pick. You're gonna go for the first overall.
Oh
player.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
just what it
absolutely.
is.
And if there isn't a defender that's projected to go first overall, you don't take him.
And I think we talked about this. It's either you take this. Okay, I'm gonna rebuild for the next 5 years, and maybe we're gonna be good after 5 years. But then there's no guarantee that you're gonna get it out of that bog or that basement. And this is kind of like they're regressing back down to there. So there's no guarantee that a rebuild is gonna be something that's gonna change your franchise.
Okay, so we don't necessarily agree that Chiarelli is the cause of the problem. That's what I think, and so because I write the running order, that's what I wrote, and that's the law. That's how it works here at Riding Pine. It's not a democracy. It's very much a dictatorship by me.
Whoa. I didn't know that. I thought producer Brian ran the show.
Oh, does he? Oh man. Well we don't
Look at him over there. He obviously runs the show. He could cut your mic right now.
That's true. Okay, so another team that's doing terribly is the Arizona Coyotes. Do we think they're this bad? Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
shouldn't be this bad, right?
No, they should be.
Okay.
$15 million in cap space? Are you kidding me?
Fair enough, I guess. They don't have Datsuk anymore or Pronger to
Give me a break. They're all hanging out in that hot tub, that proverbial hot tub,
Yes.
like Pronger, Versteeg, or however many players they have. Like,
that are
give me a
injured for
break.
the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Is there anything that they can do? Like, what do we think about Arizona? To me, they shouldn't be this bad. They should not be this bad. And the only reason that they're winning games is because of Clayton Keller. If it wasn't for Keller, forget about it.
Yeah. They're quite bad.
Do they sell
Do they-
OEL?
Well, the problem is that who do you give? All you have that's half decent is your nice young talent.
Yeah.
And you build a good team with nice young talent these days.
Oliver
there's
Ekman Larson.
and that's it. Then after that, what do? You
Oh,
you
yeah.
have
You already
then
shipped
you're
up Mike Smith.
middling depth pieces. Maybe you can move at the trade deadline for
Then you're in real trouble.
conditional draft picks.
If you move
Exactly.
OEL, you're in real trouble.
Or
Yeah,
you just bring in guys that have never been proven starters like Ranta and, second line centers like Stepan or third line centers and put them in the first line center role. Like, that was just such terrible short-sighted moves.
If they lose OEL, that means they're tanking, right? They're obviously tanking now, but if they get rid of OEL, they're obviously tanking.
Yeah, they're going.
But how
for
many more years are you
first,
going to
second
try
time.
to stay this course when you could get rid of him for a first rounder? You're already going to have Dahlin probably first overall. You win that lottery,
With
which
OEL.
is good.
Yeah.
But with OEL, yeah, but you get rid of him now, you get another first rounder.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You know, you get Edmonton's first rounder, which could be a third overall pick. It could be another lottery pick. They could have a first and third pick
You
next
could
year.
get
If you get rid of
Dallin
him.
and another center.
Yeah,
Like, what better than having a puck-moving D that can...
I think Chiarelli knows that he's in trouble, and I think Arizona's dangling that carrot. And we'll see. We'll see if he wants his job. Does he want his job bad enough? Is he
I
going to
think
make?
he does.
Will he make that move?
I think so.
And if it doesn't work out, though, think about how stressed you'd be if you were Chiarelli. If that doesn't work out, and you give up your third overall pick, and they've got first and third,
Yeah.
you're in a lot of trouble.
You're in a lot of trouble.
But is Ekman Larson is he that good to
Yes.
demand a
This guy's
first
elite.
round guy?
He's
Yeah,
elite.
I
we
think
don't get
he's-
to see him a lot, right? Because he's down.
exactly. I saw one game with him recently.
So Larry Brooks for the New York Post wrote a piece and intimated that the Islanders should move for him. And in that piece, he wrote Brock Nelson, Joshua Sang, Anthony Beauvillier, a first, and I believe a second.
Wow.
Sorry,
And that just proves to you how
and Ryan
think about this
Pulak
guy. Yeah.
for Oliver Ekman Larson.
Yeah.
And who do we have to thank for that? Joe Sakic and the million assets he got for Matt Duchene.
Yep.
That means anyone who moves anywhere who's of any quality is going to be like 8, 9, 12 prospects and 2 draft picks.
I don't know if he. I don't know if.
I don't think he is, but I think that's the market now.
You think that's the market now?
For
so.
for a 26-year-old or 26-year-old top number one defenseman, it's big.
For a team who needs him badly?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's like try to trade away Shea Weber or not. It's not like Eric
PK
Carlson,
Subban.
PK Subban, Shea Weber,
Yeah.
or something.
Nick Leddy.
Yeah, you're gonna get at least 3 to 4 pieces in that deal and
Hopefully.
one player back
Yeah.
and a conditional pick maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we intimated about the Senators a second ago, and we're going to talk about them right now. we had Donnie Brennan on the show last week, and he said,
What a beauty, by the way.
what a beauty interview that was.
Great interview.
And he said,
Welcome
that,
back anytime, Donnie.
Yeah, of course, the invitation is always open. He said that the Sens are going to be looking, the organization is going to be looking to,
Potentially.
Melnyk is maybe going to be selling the team at some point before they move to Le Breton. So we're going to play his clip right here, and we're going to talk amongst ourselves about that real quick before we move to our mid-roll section. So that was Donnie B about Melnyk selling the team. Thoughts around the table about Melnyk selling the team before they move to Le Breton downtown, in Ottawa, that is.
It could possibly happen. I mean, I've never seen an owner who seems less happy about owning a hockey team in my life. You look at Jeff Molson, he seems to get some kind of joy out of being associated with the game of hockey, even when they're not performing very well. Whereas Melnyk, doesn't matter what happens, he's just going to complain about it. And I don't see why you would want to own something that makes you that unhappy.
I agree.
He doesn't really stay in his role either. He goes over the head of the GM a lot of times. He says things to the media that are just totally inappropriate for an owner.
Yeah.
As an owner, you're supposed to put the money up and hire the right people to do that job for you. And he's got this hands-on, hands-off approach. Like, whenever he feels like being hands-on, all of a sudden he's got this opinion. And then when it really matters, he's nowhere to be found. So I think, I hadn't really thought about it before Don Brennan brought it up, but I think there's definitely a possibility. And moving forward with this Le Breton, a lot of wealthy people, like Darren Dreger was saying. Darren, we're still waiting for your response for us, by the way.
That's right.
We reached out for an interview.
Yep.
A lot of wealthy people in Quebec and Ontario that would love to get their hands on the team. So
Do you
I
think
could see
they
it
stay
happen.
here, though, if that happens? If somebody,
Yeah.
an owner
Yeah.
from Quebec, do you think they
I
stay
think so,
here?
Well,
especially with the downtown arena. For
Well,
sure.
you got to
If
look at what
there's Le
happened.
Breton, yeah.
You got to look at what happened to Lansdowne,
Yeah.
right? Lansdowne has absolutely exploded since that's
It's like a
since they
little
did
mini
that.
nightclub. I said that last week.
And
That's what they turned it into.
It would be
actually
even
fun
it would be,
going there.
It'd be so cool, and I don't even think it would take away from Lansdowne. I think it would just be another wicked area for people to go. Sort of a, and you don't have to drive. Like for me, living in Orleans, it's tough to get out to Canada in that traffic, middle of rush hour, to get to games, and I
That's
love
an
to
hour
go
plus. That's an hour plus.
easily both ways.
Yeah.
Each way, sorry. So yeah, no, I could see it happening. I had never thought about it before, and they're really quick to rebut these rumors right now
Oh,
on TSN
boy, are
and
they
everywhere.
quick.
So
I'm sure
A little too quick?
Organized. Oh, I like the take. I think the Senators are going into PR spin mode. I think we've put some people on the Senators squad to kind of like, what are you guys talking about? Why are you bringing this up? I'm sure it's happening because, like we've all intimated, Melnyk is not the most liked owner at all. He's not Jeff Balsillie, not liked, but he's definitely on there where no one really
Jim.
likes. Is it Jim?
Jim Balsillie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Jim with a J, not a Jeff with a G.
What?
Yeah. They didn't like him, so they didn't let him own a team in Hamilton. And so they don't necessarily like Melnyk either, but he already owns a team. It's like they found out afterwards, like, this isn't a really nice guy. And maybe he's a nice guy, but he's just, he doesn't seem, like you said, Denis, he doesn't seem to have the heart into it anymore.
No.
I mean, he's run out of horses to sell. He's run out of ideas for this team. It's going downtown. He's built it up to a point where he can now sell it for massive profit. Do so. Look, the Islanders sold for just under $500 million. The Senators can sell for $500 million.
If Vegas could get $550 million.
Well, that's just for the rights of opening it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, like, I think he could, and that's a big return on investment for a guy who bought it for what, $120 million. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't necessarily remember. I'm looking at you, Darcy, because you're a numbers guy.
I don't know.
What is that Le Breton
I thought it
arena
was less than
locked
that.
down? Is that 100% happening?
At the moment,
Absolutely.
it is not.
No, it's
Exactly.
like a big proposal. It was like a nice,
That-
pretty presentation.
I think
But
they
there's nothing
need
going
to
on
break
yet.
ground or something.
They
Un-
basically
yeah.
they've basically won the rights to a proposal,
Yeah.
Yes.
to have the official proposal.
They are the preferred bid.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens there. Let's get to our little mid-roll section where we generally bring on another sponsor, but we're just going to dedicate this entirely to BEAUS because BEAUS was generous enough to bring us to their brewery, give us a brewery tour, sit in their CEO, CFO's office. It's fantastic. This is beautiful digs.
Yeah.
I love the bike. I love the idea of having the bike there when
The
you're
recumbent bike.
when you're trying to cram out an idea and you don't know, like, I gotta think of something. Get on the bike, always. So what are we drinking again here? We're drinking osmium.
Yep. And so we have Scottish wee heavy
wee heavy.
Yeah.
It's I'm everyone else is done. I don't know about Darcy, but everyone else is done but me.
Yeah. That's good.
But that's because I already had one of these. This is my second one of the day,
Oh.
and it is fantastico. I'm not driving, thankfully.
Yeah.
This is 7%. It's a little bit heavy.
Yeah.
In the alcohol content, but it doesn't taste
it's
heavy.
a wee bit heavy, maybe.
A wee bit heavy.
Oh.
Some would say it's a wee bit heavy. I absolutely love it. It's coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
So by the time you listen to this podcast, it is going to be out there for your
Yeah,
consumption.
in the winter mix pack only.
That's right.
But it's worth getting the winter mix because you've got your wee heavy, you've got the double identity, which is a double IPA, which is absolutely fantastic. Had a little sample of that not too long ago and almost fell off my chair
Nice.
because
haven't
I
had it
might have
yet.
had a sample or two more after that. Of
course.
that's around 9%, which is typical for a double IPA.
A double, yeah.
And it's a delicious one. The pack also has Lug Tread, and the other one is the ESB Farm Table. Oh, that's my favorite.
Love me some ESBs.
I love a nice extra special bitter. It's bitter, it's special, but it's also extra
Extra special.
special.
Oh,
and that's
beautiful.
like eating some kind of cookie in a beer. It's just absolutely.
It's all.
You know why this beer
Producer Ryan
passed?
likes his beer.
Exactly.
Producer Ryan just said he likes it.
That's why this beer passes the test, because we got the thumbs up from a distance from producer B. So that's always a guarantee right there.
So, do you know of anything that you guys are working on now? Like anything that's not coming out tomorrow?
Well, the next
Any Beau's experiments happening?
Yeah.
after we put out the mix pack, the next big thing is February.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of beers coming out between now and Christmas. Also, we've
Right.
got
So Valentine's Day, like those Valentine's hearts brewed into a beer, that's something that's happening?
oh yeah, we've got Glacial Gruit. That's our
Ooh.
That sounds-
last collab of the Ottawa 2017 series that we were doing. It's a collaboration with the National Association of Nature Museums.
Wow.
It's just
Did
really
you say
cool.
it was filtered with clay?
Yeah.
Is that the one that is
What?
filtered with clay? Yeah.
It's basically we try to reconstitute what the last meal of a prehistoric horse, and
Whoa.
use those ingredients in the beer.
Brought to you into a beer by Beau's.
That sounds
And it's
magical.
I mean, it's
thinking-
the only logical next step, right?
That's
Yeah,
right.
exactly. It's like we've done everything else.
Yeah.
Can we get dinosaurs?
Exactly. And then the other one that's coming out tomorrow is lamb's wool, which is part of the Gruit series, which is basically imagine a delicious apple pie in a beer.
Oh,
It's not like a cider. It's just more of an apple pie beer, and it's really, really
Harper's loving his life.
You
right
can have
now.
I love it in my life. Give me a picture of what the label looks like, because I'm picturing like
The
literally
lamb's
just-
wool.
Yeah.
The lamb's wool is the Gruit series, so all those look like botanical drawings.
Oh, really?
Ah,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
there you go. Now you know what to look for at the beer store.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
Beauty. So now we'll go on to our Stanley Stumpers.
Oh,
And unlike every other week where I read out the clues, it's going to be Harper's turn.
and the reason why.
Yeah.
Let me explain to you why.
Yeah, do it.
So my memory only goes as far as 1995-ish, maybe.
93.
And then 93.
Children.
Right? And then everybody else in the room is older. I'm the baby. I'm only 29.
Still in his 20s, my God.
I'm good with current events. Ask me who's playing on what team now and how much they're making. I'll tell you. But tell me who scored the Stanley Cup winning goal in 1974-5. I can't tell you. So I'm going to give somebody else an
Darcy can.
opportunity. I'm going to give you somebody else an opportunity to beat Darcy at the game
Okay.
and win. So
So we just have to guess the team that won the Stanley Cup and the year in which they won that Stanley Cup. And you're going to read us clues to divulge that team.
and they're not very vague. They're extremely vague. So you guys are going to have to dig deep into your brains.
Okay. My brain isn't very deep. Okay. I'm ready.
Okay, ready?
I'm
Yeah.
not ready.
If you know it, you go out and say it.
Okay.
Question number 1. Our leading
Stop.
scorer.
1975-76 Montreal Canadiens. Fuck.
Our leading scorer had 110 points. This was his career high.
110 points?
Yep.
His career high
Guy Lafleur?
in that season. And they won the Stanley Cup that year.
Yep.
I'm just gonna say Guy Lafleur to everything.
Do it. Turtleneck. It's a tough one.
100 points.
110. And that was his career high.
stop. The 1992 Pittsburgh Penguins.
Nope.
Was that even the year they won the cup?
Yes.
Okay, thank God. That was going to be embarrassing real quick.
So
Okay.
if this was his career high, I'm just gonna. Everybody else is throwing a guess. I might as well get one too,
Yeah.
right?
Heck
so,
yeah. Eliminate some guesses for me.
did Crosby do that in 09? Pittsburgh Penguins 2009.
Nope.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Question number
that
2.
one's not out.
First Stanley Cup in 7 years. So you got to kind of connect number 1 and number 2.
Yeah, of course.
C'est difficile.
110-point player. It wasn't the 2009 Pittsburgh Penguin. It wasn't the 1992 Pittsburgh Penguins. It wasn't the 1975 Montreal Canadiens. As I alluded to right from the
Because
start.
they didn't win the cup in 19.
No?
No.
Well, they won it at 76. So did you say 75, 76?
I don't remember what I said.
Okay. Well, they didn't win 75.
I just tossed out a year that I figured they'd want, and the
First
Montreal
one
Canadiens.
in 7 years. So
Oh, that rings a bell. The 7 years.
So it has to be someone within that time that's won one before. So it's not going to be the Los Angeles Kings. Oh, well, he's got the music themed up and everything.
So they won a cup before.
Question number 3.
Yeah,
Taking
yeah.
too long.
was it? Can I just throw it out?
Go
Yeah,
for
yeah.
it.
1971 Montreal Canadiens.
No, sir. God damn. Oh, you should get 3 strikes. And then
No,
Yeah.
you got to go through all
Okay,
6 guesses.
That's new to the rule, or that's new to the game.
our captain would later become our GM.
Is it Bob Gainey?
Yeah.
No, or Beliveau?
It's Gainey. So 1978 Montreal Canadiens.
Wrong.
1977 Montreal Canadiens.
Wrong. Hey, I'm a Habs fan, but it might not be the Habs, boys.
So it's not the Habs. It's not the Dallas Stars because they only won one cup.
Oh.
Next. I'd say next.
1996 Colorado Avalanche. No?
No, sir.
Oh, Joe Sakic.
Yeah.
Good call.
93 Habs.
Okay. Nope. That was close, though. Okay. So remember what I just said. So this is our
Close.
77th season. This is our 77th season.
You know I'm not good in quick math like that. I'm going to have to figure it out. Who won it in 94, Darcy?
New York Rangers.
That was not 7 years.
Definitely
No.
not. Okay, 95?
Jersey wasn't them. It wasn't 96. It wasn't 97.
What about
it wasn't-
92?
No.
Didn't
99. So
Pittsburgh
then,
win one in there?
6, 7, 8, 99, 2000, 2001.
You got it? I got nothing.
Oh, man.
Okay, I'll give you the 5th one,
Yeah.
and you will get this.
Okay.
Hold on.
If you listen to the
Is-
show, you will get this. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Darcy's not ready. Too
I
late.
know it's hurting you bad because it's like. Okay, it says Harper's favorite tough guy was on this team and had the most penalty minutes that year.
Harper's favorite tough guy and had the most penalty minutes that year. I honestly don't remember who Harper's favorite tough guy is.
1986 Montreal Canadiens. Yeah, it was the Canadiens.
It was close.
Hey, not bad. That was
He's
good.
trying so hard to throw us off.
Yeah, he got
Who's
me.
the favorite tough guy?
Lerner,
Chris
wasn't
Nyland.
it? No,
Chris
Nyland, right?
Chris Nyland.
Knuckles was my
Captain,
boy.
GM. I should have
Yes.
got Serge
Captain.
Laval.
Yeah, you got it. Actually, Bob Gainey that year became the GM. He
was
became
that-
the GM
okay,
in
that-
2009.
And Bob Gainey was a Conn Smythe Trophy winner
Yeah.
earlier, but that year Conn Smythe is Patrick.
Oh, there you go. There it is.
All right. So our last segment, as we usually do, is our lock dog parlay,
Yep.
where Darcy gets to lord over us the fact that he's won 2 in a row for some reason.
So how many weeks have you guys? Just for me, it's been 8. How many weeks have you guys been doing the show? Just out of curiosity.
Do I have to answer that?
Well, you could give it a ballpark, or I could.
40.
40.
40 plus.
Yeah.
How many times has anyone gone back to back on the parlays? Is that just once?
I think we have to go back into the archives for that one.
It's only once.
just
I've gone back
just
and I have all the stats, and it's only the one.
I actually knew the answer to that question.
Okay, but we have. So that's never.
That's never. Well, yeah.
This is the first time. This is the first time.
And
That,
nobody has ever gotten their lock
not
dog
once.
and parlay.
no, not yet.
I can't wait for that to happen for
We
someone.
need to talk about off air. There
Yeah.
needs to be some kind of side bet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the idea here is, Denis, for the newly initiated, is that for every Saturday,
Yep.
we pick a lock, so a team that is scheduled, that we think is supposed to win, that will win. We take a dog, Habs against the Detroit Red Wings, sure. A team that is not favored, that should win, and we take a 3-team parlay. And so what we're talking about here is that our man Darcy over here has got 2 3-team parlays in a row correct,
Okay.
which is ridiculous. It's insane. When it comes to betting terms, that's some good money's going on there.
It's hard to do.
It's quite hard to do. So we go around the room and we ask everyone to take their lock dog parlay. I'm not sure if you looked at the lineup for Saturday. It's a ton of games. That's why we
Yeah.
take Saturday. So you can filter through these. We got the lineup scheduled up here, and take the ones you want. And we'll go through the 3 of us. Darcy will start first, and then we'll all pick a lock dog parlay. You can take one too.
What's the parlay part?
You take 3 teams you think are going to win. Doesn't
3
matter.
winners.
Doesn't matter who you think. Just 3
The
teams.
dog is a team that's going to lose?
No.
Who you think is supposed to lose.
Supposed to
Or
lose.
like
Supposed to
unfavored.
lose. That's
likely.
going to win.
Yeah. So your team
Supposed
that,
to lose that's going to win.
Yeah.
Ah,
So
perfect. Got
a
it.
team that's not favored that you think is going to win.
that's right.
Thank you for
So, like,
re-explaining.
Detroit against the Montreal
You
Canadiens.
didn't explain it well at all. Just I was thinking. I was like,
Oh, there's another
Whoa.
bus going around killing people. And it's the words coming out of Darcy's
okay.
mouth.
Well, I'll start.
Yes, please.
Got my lock of the week is Pittsburgh Penguins at home to the Buffalo Sabres.
Okay.
Oh, that's a lock.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
I hate betting.
I'm usually
betting
wrong on
for
those
Buffalo.
ones.
I can't deal with Buffalo. I can't understand them. They win when they want them to lose, and they lose when I want them to win. Unbelievable.
my
We've only won
dog.
6 games.
My dog. I'm going with a tough one. I'm going with San Jose in Tampa. So I'm taking San Jose as my
Yeah,
dog.
that's fair.
And my parlay, I'm taking the Predators at home against the Ducks. I am taking the Blackhawks on the road against Dallas. And I'm taking the Toronto Maple Leafs on the road against Vancouver.
An early game. They're at Vancouver playing at 7 p.m.
Yeah, so 4 p.m. Vancouver time.
That's crazy. Harper, what do you got? How many times are you putting Montreal in here?
I want to put them everywhere.
You want to? I know they're going to be there at least once.
But they're not as my lock.
Oh.
Because this is going to be a game it's going to be a tough one for them to win because they don't want to get caught. Because they could be in third spot by Saturday.
That's true.
Every time they play a team that they're supposed to beat and can beat, they
Just like
don't.
Phoenix, or I still call them Phoenix, Arizona. They were supposed to win that game, but no.
Glendale. Just call them Glendale.
Oi. That's what I'll call them. Okay, so the Blues are my lock for Saturday.
Okay.
My dog, I like me a little home dog for Washington against Columbus. Because Columbus is in town.
You think they're going to be a home
I
dog?
think they're a home dog. It's
All right.
it's almost a pick 'em, but I still think they're a home dog.
Okay.
I think Washington minus 110, but we'll give them the dog.
We'll give them the dog.
Give me the dog there.
Yeah.
Parlay, Habs, Montreal,
Montreal.
then Toronto versus Vancouver, and then New Jersey Devils.
Wait. You said Toronto versus Vancouver. So you're
Yes,
picking
it's
Toronto
like
over Vancouver?
Toronto, yeah.
You're picking
Toronto
Toronto?
over
Okay.
them, yeah. And then the Devils.
The Devils.
And I'm going to put 5 bones on this one,
Okay.
and I'm going to win it all.
Hopefully you win. Denis, what do you got, my man?
I'm going to say the...
On your educated Beau's guess, based off of all the Beau's beer that you've drank over the years, what is your guess over what's going to happen this Saturday?
I'm
Are
gonna
you taking your Montreal Canadiens, like Harper does every week?
Do it. Do
It'll be in the parlay. Yeah, I'll take the... Put Montreal in the parlay.
Okay, that's fair. They're in.
I'll say lock. I like Pittsburgh over Buffalo, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's a fair one.
Yeah. And for the dog...
There's a few more here. It goes a little bit lower.
Edmonton over Calgary.
For the dog, yeah, that's fair. I'm going the other way, but that's all right.
Yeah. And oh yeah, I got 2 more for the parlay.
You got 2 more for your parlay. You can take whoever you want. You can even take the ones that you've already picked if you want to throw Edmonton and Pittsburgh in there.
Florida over Carolina.
Oh yes, my man. That's what I picked.
And
I haven't got to it yet.
there was one up here I liked. Which one was it? Boston over Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's
over
I like that one too.
Beauty. Okay, my lock. Calgary over Edmonton. Sorry, buddy. I'm taking
Fine.
Calgary. I think at home. Come on. Arizona is my dog because they're always going to be the dog, and they're eventually going to win a few games, like we saw on their East Coast road trip. In my parlay, I've got Pittsburgh, Florida, and the Anaheim Ducks. I think, who are away to Nashville. Yes, who are away to Nashville.
Ship it.
I think that's going to be a good value pick for me there. Same thing with Florida, but Florida's probably going to be more likely to win against Carolina than not. That's all we got. That is our show, boys. We're done. Hopefully Darcy doesn't win the third week in a row because I'm just tired of hearing it on our WhatsApp group. No, he's pretty good about it.
What a great afternoon this has been.
Oh,
I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
We need to play some like
that's a great afternoon.
twinkly music in the background.
Yeah.
It was great. It was
BEAUS took us out for a day at their brewery, and we loved every second of it. It was beautiful seeing the millions of tanks of beer being made, to the different types of beers that we had. The Osmium beer, again, coming out tomorrow in their winter variety pack. I'm going to
The
call
winter mix.
it the winter mix.
The BEAUS winter mix.
We got to get
BEAUS
this down.
winter
It's the
mix.
perfect holiday gift for the beer lover in
Wink,
your
wink,
family.
nudge,
Whoa.
nudge. How do you do?
Good.
It's
Graphic designer or voiceover specialist?
a salesman. He's on everything in
both.
one. Montreal fan, man. He's
You guys-
a boy.
It's my kind of guy.
Have you guys seen the videos we've been doing to promote the beer?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
On
Have you seen
your
the
Facebook?
the fall mix video with the crazy,
Indeed.
the crazy, that was
crazy
me.
cowboy.
That was me.
That was you.
That's awesome.
No, nobody knows it's me because I shaved and I look different and I didn't have my glasses.
Wow. So what are you doing? What are you doing for the winter mix?
I'm not doing the
Santa
winter
Claus?
mix. I'm doing the Lamb's Wool video though. That'll be funny.
Okay. I'll look at.
If you like Wes Anderson films, you'll like that one.
I do. Oh, it's gonna be like a Mr. Fox type thing.
You'll see.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So again, make sure to follow BEAUS on all of their social media platforms. So you're on everything and everything, I assume. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, they're on it.
Yep.
And I'm assuming it's at BEAUS Natural is generally
At Beau's all
at
natural
BEAUS
most
all
of the time,
natural. Make
Don't
sure to put
forget.
all of ALL in there. Also, make sure to follow us. We're pretty followable. We're on all those platforms, and we retweet everything BEAUS does. So if you guys throw something out, you being BEAUS, we're going to retweet it. So if you don't go to the BEAUS website or you don't go to the BEAUS social platforms,
You'll find it from us.
you'll get it from us. Worst case scenario, but definitely go to BEAUS to get it. And God, can we just like high fives all around?
High fives.
Yes, high fives for
Did
BEAUS.
we give him a high five for that win?
Darcy?
I
I
think
give
we
him, I give him a
forgot.
pat.
Yeah. You got a pat?
And long distance high five to Taylor over there. Long distance high five to producer B for coming out here and
Yes.
recording us on location at BEAUS All Natural Brewing Company. Oh, what a day, boys.
What a day.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming on, Denny. You have been a joy and a pleasure. Ooh. This has been fantastic.
Tell that to my wife.
I
What a
will.
bumching.
Done. All right, boys.
All right, cheers.
Have a
Yeah.
good one. Cheers to empty beers. There we go.
See you next week.